Jugger's the cat if you're talking about science-based training for soccer players. Huberman, right? He's a vision scientist and it deals with the brain. I think it's Huberman Lab Research. Louis Simmons, in terms of for strength, right? He died 3 years ago, but if you search 50 top most questions answered by Louis Simmons, that's like 4 years of strength coaching, training. He made strength tools for every team in the NFL, and he's like got one of the highest squats for one of the oldest men on earth. He's just strong out of his mind, and his stories will blow you away. I mean, just in terms of strength development for track, strength development, core strength, and it's all transferable to gameplay, right? Core strength, super important. Muscles, tendons, and ligaments, super important. And just how to develop them. Like simple concepts he really put me on to, Louis Simmons. Like, for example, like tendons and ligaments get poor blood flow. So for that reason, they need high repetitions. So anytime you're working a knee joint, anytime you're working strengthening your elbows, your wrists, anytime you're working your lower back, right? Your lower back, a lot of tendons and ligaments. You want to have high repetitions at low weights. But for muscles, right, they have better blood flow, right? So thinking about that is a fundamental principle of strength training that he put me onto, right? Louis Simmons. And he invented this thing called reverse hyper machine. I bought two that are currently one's at Salve. I put it at Salve Regina Strength weight room. Salve Regina University. No one uses it. And then the other one that's in my buddy's shop. So another person who I would say, not a scientist, but just a movement coach. If you've ever seen, if you search Ido Portal, Portal, locomotion, I mean, it's probably one of the most dynamic workouts. I mean, dynamic warm-ups on the planet. In less than 3 minutes, 4 minutes, he puts you through so many different ranges of motion that it'll just blow your mind. You just mess around at home and this warm up. I did this warm up at a professional soccer training academy in front of this guy who, right, this room was just filled with a whole bunch of pro players whose pictures were up on the wall, all signed. I'm talking like throughout, and this is in the States, so you could comment on the quality of play, but right, the whole there's just pictures of players in the MLS that were signed on the wall. And after I did that, I did that Ido Portal locomotion routine. I did the German hang. It's an exercise on a pull-up bar, and then I did some reverse hypers on a reverse hyper machine, and then I rolled out my back I rolled out the spine with a foam roller. And after I did those 4 things, I did rotations of those 4 things, but only one set of locomotion from Ido Portal. And the guy who ran the academy was like, he told me that was the most dynamic warm up I've ever seen in my life, right? So it's simple. It's freaking simple to learn, right? Just like you could learn the warm up if you search, whatever the number 1 ranked club team in the country is right now. If you just search their pregame warm up, you learn their warm up, right? So I think becoming a high level player just starts with kind of looking behind the scenes. A lot of players say, "Oh, I want to play professionally," but they've never spent 2 seconds looking up a professional team's warm-up routine. It's like simple stuff. Science-based. Dr. Vranich, I talk about this in almost every single video I make. She's a breathing expert. She literally wrote a book on breathing. I mean, multiple books on breathing. She worked with Bas Rutten, who invented the O2 trainer. Bas Rutten's like one of the best, pound for pound, one of the best fighters that's ever fought. And his stories, like he's got this interview with Tim Ferriss. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. It's like one of the best. I think it's one of his best interviews he's done. That's Tim Ferriss and Bass Rutten, and then his stories will help improve the quality of your training, and I think also the quality of your life, right? They're very inspirational. He was getting bullied and beat up when he was real young, and then he saw, I think, Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee, and then he started, like, he went on a, but he had asthma, and he had, like, he was very underweight, and then he kind of had this click in his mind where he was like, okay, well, I don't want to get picked on no more, and then he started to take some steps to develop his strength and training, and it was just, it just took a turn for that different direction. So I think those would be the best places to start. Lewis Simmons, Ido Portal, Huberman Labs, Dr. Vranich, in connection with Bass Rutten, who was interviewed on Tim Ferriss' podcast. So hopefully some of these ideas help. Reach out with any questions. All right, thank you.